Are you craving suya with an amazing flavor and just the right balance of heat? You're in luck. I'll show you how to make it. I start by putting some salt and vegetable oil together in a bowl. I kind of mix it together and try to get it to dissolve. It doesn't really, but that's okay. I don't use very much vegetable oil. I use 1 tablespoon for 1 pound of beef, but you can use a little bit more if you want to try and get a crispier texture to your suya. This is the suya spice that I use and have had the best luck with, but feel free to use any brand you like. I add 1 tablespoon of the suya spice to a small bowl, and I'm sure to break up any of the clumps. Then I add some garlic powder, followed by onion powder. Then I add some beef noor, followed by some adobo. Please excuse the camera malfunction. I mix all the seasonings together with a fork, and I try to be good about breaking up any of the clumps. Then I prepare to cut the beef. I usually ask the butcher to cut it in cubes, and then I go home and slice it down into small pieces myself. You could ask the butcher to slice it small for you if you wanted to make an enemy. As for me, I no dey for wahala, so I slice it myself. Then I get my oil and salt mixture and I add it to the beef. I go ahead and drizzle it on top, and all the little extra salt and oil that's left in there, I just use some of the beef to kind of, push it out into the rest of the bowl. I kind of just use my hands to mix everything together. Like I said, I don't use much vegetable oil, but I have noticed in the past when I use a little bit more vegetable oil and also cook the beef for a little bit longer, I kind of end up with a crispier texture, so you can do whatever you prefer. I use a roasting rack set inside of a pan like this to cook my suya. It's easy and makes things nice and quick. I go ahead and take each of the pieces of beef and sort of dip them into the suya spice like this. I do this over and over so that everything is incorporated and coated with suya spice. I do sometimes also just pour the suya spice into the bowl with the beef. You can really do whatever you prefer. One of the things that works well for me is if I seem to be running out of suya spice, I'll actually just take plain pieces of beef and pat them with other pieces that have already been coated, just to sort of spread around the suya spice. You can always feel free to add more of the suya spice mixture if you like, but I usually try not to. Just be conscious that the more you add, the spicier it will be. In the past, I've used a lot and it was very, very spicy. Once everything's done, it's laid out on a rack like this. I put it into the oven for 25 minutes. After 25 minutes, I pull it out and I actually go ahead and flip each of the individual pieces. This is tedious, and if you prefer, you can put all of the beef on skewers so it's much easier to turn. I actually prefer to do it this way, so this is the way that I'm showing. After I finish flipping all of the beef pieces, I'll go ahead and put it back into the oven for another 5 to 7 minutes to cook, and then I'm done. The result is sizzling meat with an intense flavor and perfect balance of heat. And the best part is, it was easy. Suya is probably one of my favorite things to eat and make. And the best part is, it's pretty easy. I've been trying to develop my own suya spice, which I haven't yet perfected, but when I do, I'll share it with you guys. I'll never forget when I went back to one of my favorite Nigerian restaurants, which I hadn't been in a while, and I ordered suya, and what they brought us was basically plain, thinly sliced beef on one side, and the other side basically had suya spice. I was so confused. I remember calling the server over and asking, "What is this? We ordered suya." And she explained that, some people had complained that it was too spicy, so this is what they did so that you could, control the spice yourself. I was very sad and disheartened. At the end of the day, suya is a spicy dish, and so it's not necessarily for everyone. I firmly believe you shouldn't change the whole entire essence of a dish. Instead, just know what you're getting into before eating it. So definitely be sure to adjust the spice level to your liking. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to watch more of our cooking videos here on YouTube.